My last set of preview videos for the Ravens' Week 4 clash with Buffalo and Baltimore is going to be primarily focused on the passing game, to be honest with you, and the Ravens' coverage of it. I'm going to show 4 plays here and show how multiple the Ravens are in terms of where people are lining up. And I'm generally talking about Marcus Williams, Chuck Clark, Marlon Humphrey, to a lesser extent, Kyle Hamilton. But I'm only going to show you 4 plays. I'm going to show you 2 examples of cover 3. I wonder how much cover 3 will play against the Bills, to be honest with you. Josh Allen and the Bills coaching staff and players and receivers would have surely done their homework and be able to recognize the indicators in terms of alignment and location on the field that are going to kind of give away that we're playing cover 3. Nothing wrong with cover 3. I'm a big cover 3 guy, fan of it. Love how physical it allows some of your second level guys to be if they're willing to do so. One of the things I've talked about many times on this channel is I just don't feel like people are physical enough with slot receivers at the second level, meaning inside linebackers, strong safeties, or a nickel safety who's playing on the outside. The last 2 coverages I'll show will be these kind of like hybrid split field coverage calls that I think the Ravens are doing a little bit more of. The fourth one, I'm not sure that I understand all of the calls that are there. But what you'll notice throughout the plays, and I hope to remember to point out for you, is the location of certain guys, particularly Marcus Williams and Chuck Clark, who they're capable of playing in many locations. I wonder if at some point it kind of doesn't make more sense for them to each focus on the particular job that they're best at. Now, in my opinion, Marcus Williams can play anywhere. Chuck Clark can play anywhere as well. I think Marcus is a little more explosive, a little more quick to the football. Has better ball skills, even though Chuck Clark has made a number of plays for this team across the years. All right, so the first one is going to be from week 3, and we'll point out some guys before we run it. I'll try to let this run multiple times. Marcus Williams, Chuck Clark, and then Malik Harrison is the Sam down there to the boundary, top side of the field. Ravens defense is left. We'll let it run. You'll see a missed tackle by Harrison in the flats. I'll try to go through it a couple of times. Pause it so you can see kind of the distribution of the routes and the distribution of the coverage assets. We do get a decent rush by Owe on this one, kind of driving the left tackle back into Mac Williams' lap, or Mac Jones' lap. Calais takes an inside rush up here, and so Mac Jones is able to escape out the right-hand side. We're going to pause it here in a moment and let you see the distribution of the routes and how the players are playing the cover 3. All right, so I'm going to pause it right here. You got this nice little envelope with our second level guys. Patrick Queen's actually got really nice depth on this one. And as he was getting back here, he took a peek at the slot receiver. Some people say take a peek or sneak a peek. I used to say ping pong eyes. I want you to think of like a ping pong ball. I want you to look here, and then back here if you can as the ball is thrown. But nice little distribution of the second level guys. Marcus Williams is capable of, like Steve Harvey says, he's got all that. Marcus Williams can play free safety. He can play down safety like this. He can play man. He does everything, if you ask me. Nice little example of cover 3 with the corners. Marlon, Marcus Peters, Chuck playing middle of the field free safety. In my opinion, Chuck looks like he's lost 8 to 10 pounds this year. He looks sleeker to me. He looks quicker. I've always been a big Chuck Clark fan. I thought that at free safety in previous years, he was not the best option for us, but we had Deshaun Elliott and other guys who weren't necessarily fit to be a free safety as well. In my opinion, Chuck Clark looks quicker, and he looks better in these situations. You can let me know what you think in the comment section. So, cover 3, we're trying to keep things in front of us, right? We're trying to allow people to throw the ball in here and then rally to the football. Some people call this a no-cover zone, NCZ. No cover zone, let them throw it in front, and then we rally to the football, and it's mission accomplished in terms of that goal for us. As a side note, again, here is Patrick Queen looking at the route by the number 2 receiver up top. So I wonder sometimes if maybe we played a little bit more zone coverage, if Patrick Queen wouldn't be better. Look at his drop. Look how quick he gets out of here. He identified pass quite quickly. All right, so Harrison is going to get the running back out into the flats. This is a 1st and 10, so it's not like we're playing cover 3, on 3rd and 7. And it's just a missed opportunity for Harrison to make a tackle. I believe this was the Patriots' first touchdown drive. I could be wrong. And this one really kind of got them going. They gained 7 yards on 1st and 10, whereas it should have been a 1 or 2 yard gain. All right, second play. I believe you get cover 3 again. This is against the Jets in week 1. Now the Sam is off the field. We're in our nickel set. I'm going to let it run a couple of times. and then I'll talk about the players on the field. You don't have as great a distribution of the players because it's a short yardage situation. It was 1st and 10 on that play that I just showed you. So the Ravens players, if you ask me, were kind of demonstrating a high level of awareness. Queen, Marcus Williams, on the previous play I'm talking about, getting good depth. All right, Marcus Williams is up top. Chuck Clark is here. So you have consistent alignment with the last play that I showed you, right? Clark at free safety. Williams as the down safety or the strong safety to our right. The Sam was not on the field this time. Malik Harrison. We have the nickel, Kyle Fuller, who unfortunately is out at this point. Brandon Stevens, and then Humphrey up here as the right corner, same position he was last time. A little bit less depth because we're dealing with a 2nd and 2, but you can see a little bit of nice envelope distribution there. Bynes again is a little shorter in his drop than Queen. These guys are a little tight for cover 3, if you ask me, but it's a condensed formation, so it doesn't surprise me that their alignment is a little tight. You can see they're getting outside leverage on it. Marcus Williams can do everything. My only fear with some of this is when we roll Marcus Williams down pre-snap is like Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, some of the other Bills' dangerous guys recognizing that and then having their cover 3 beaters in as an automatic check. So what I'm talking about when I say condensed formation, the X down here, Davis, is probably within 6 yards, 7 yards of that right tackle's right foot. And then again, over here on the other side, you have the stacked twins that are even more tightly aligned to the left tackle. Stevens, Humphrey on the bail, get outside leverage, butt kind of to the sideline, back to the sideline, right? For both of them. And you got the free safety Clark in the middle of the field. We haven't seen him get really a chance to break on a ball, 18 to 25 yard range. That's the area that we, 18 to 28, something like that. We would say we want the free safety to be able to impact those plays, either collisioning the receiver as he catches the ball, getting there before the receiver, or dissuading the quarterback from throwing the football because of his presence. I don't think we're going to dissuade Josh Allen from throwing in that range. I'm talking about this area here. Between those lines there. This area to me is the area that we always said the free safety is threatened by the routes because he can get 2 routes in that area, but he also threatens the quarterback with his ability to break on things if he recognizes the routes. So 2 examples of cover 3, both of them, Marcus Williams rolled down to our right, and in the first one, the Sam, Malik Harrison, rolled down or play in the flats to our left, and in the second one you have Kyle Fuller playing the curl flat to our left. So replacing the Sam because we're in our nickel alignment. All right, different zone here, right? You definitely have some communication between Queen and Fuller getting off here. There's some times where it looks like we're playing zone to one side, and then we've got a man call on the backside between the corner and the linebacker. And I'll show you, I think the 4th play is going to be a really good example of that. But watch these routes by the number 1 receiver and the 2, and how Fuller, the corner, and Queen, the linebacker, match up with them. It's an empty formation. I think it's designed to threaten Queen. To attack Queen, I should say. So you get this chip by the tight end here on the edge rusher, and then he slips out into the flats. Queen hedges outside to take it, and then Fuller recognizes, a vertical release by the number 1, so he's taking that. Turns into a deep out. Interception by Marcus Williams, not a cover 3. What's the difference? All right, well, there's multiple differences. Number 1, you've got Williams here as a half-field safety, Hamilton as a half-field safety, so we got our 3 safeties on the field, and then now Clark is playing the down safety, outside leverage of the number 2. When I say outside leverage, I mean his right foot or his inside foot is slightly outside of the outside foot, the left foot of that wide receiver up there. So that kind of, to me, at least in the experience that I have, is a pre-snap indicator of zone because of the outside alignment of that safety there, that nickel safety. And it turns out to be zone. Now the guy who's open is this number 3 late on this out. So I have said it, I think, once in a video. I'm a little concerned about 3 out if we're playing our zone. If we're playing our match man, where Pepe Williams is in Clark's position. And I think maybe I'll show you. I don't show you that play in this video. Sorry, it'll be in another video. I'm going to do a video Friday night on the Ravens rookies trying to cover. And I'm going to compare their coverage skills and the results to the results of other rookie corners across the NFL. So we're going to be talking about Ahmad Gardner. We're going to be talking about Derek Stingley, Kaiir Elam to a lesser extent, and Kyler Gordon of the Bears out of Washington. So the route that I think that the Bills might try to attack would be empty and then trying to attack these two with, a chip and then delayed into the flats, or in this case, he's just running an out. Now, if it's Pepe Williams on the field, we play a slightly different coverage when he's lined up over number 2. We'll play this match man. If you ask me, this does not appear to be match man. It appears to be a zone. Great play by Marcus Williams, obviously. Last example, we'll let it run. I think, again, you're getting a nice job on the backside of the formation. What I mean by backside of the formation is it's trips or bunch. You got 3 receivers here, bunch. So you've got the running back in B. So the running back is on the same side as the X. All right, so for the terminology that I was taught, we didn't have to communicate anything other than bunch B, something quick, concise for the kids. Bunch B, meaning the back is on the side of the X. Watch the communication that occurs from Queen to, again, I think this is Fuller, all right, because it's week 1. And you get the end zone angle, I believe, maybe not actually, so you're going to have to look from this angle. Sorry, you can see him now. Queen is signaling something to Fuller. I think he's signaling to him, we're going to go ahead and man this. I see something, meaning Queen, I see something here pre-snap that's telling me that we should probably go ahead and play man. Not sure what he sees, to be honest with you. But in any case, he gets out of there. Now, does the running back have leverage? Yes, he would have leverage. So then the other thing to talk about in terms of pre-snap alignment is Chuck Clark and Humphrey are now at inside backer in Clark and then slot defender in Humphrey. This is the alignment that I'm not sure how often we can do now because we don't have Fuller. We've got Marcus Peters, but if we do this, then who's the other outside corner up here now, right? I guess it's Stevens. And Stevens is going to be a part of that rookie coverage video that I talk about Friday night as well. So we'll kind of be trying to dive deep into the Ravens coverages. I really like when we play zone with Humphrey as a second-level defender. I just talked about in the previous play, them trying to attack Queen and or Bynes. In certain passing situations against the Bills, I think we're really going to be looking at pushing Clark down to the second level where he is here. And it's unfortunate that we don't have Kyle Fuller because we can't take advantage of Humphrey's skills here. Humphrey's playing at an incredibly high level. He just is. I don't know what all the rating systems say about him. I don't know what the completions are. He's impacting the game with tackles. He's in the correct position in zone. He's just doing so many things well. I wish that we were able to put him in here and have him play at the second level. You can see how physical he is. Now let's talk about Williams and Hamilton. You clearly get this look of them playing half field. Some people would just call it cover 2. I believe you're getting a half field call. So that's what I think Queen and Fuller communicated pre-snap. And then you probably have an independent call for this half of the field. That's what I mean when I say split field coverage. There's all kinds of different terms that are used depending on the team and the background of the coaches. They're not consistent in terms of being used across all teams. But one thing I like about when we do put Clark here is Clark looks at the receivers. He doesn't just drop and look at the quarterback. And I kind of feel like it's advantageous for us to have him in there. Even though my man Bynes got an interception last week, I feel like with Bynes in there, we're going to kind of have to play zone, and we'll maybe give away our coverage. Yeah, it's a pass interference or illegal contact downfield on Marlon. The point of this video wasn't necessarily to evaluate players. It was really to give you some intel as the viewer. When you watch the game on Sunday pre-snap, where's Marcus Williams? That can kind of tell you the coverage that we're playing. Where's Chuck Clark? All right, is the Sam on the field? Do we have a nickel on the field? Whoever that nickel is. In this case, we might have Stevens on the outside and Humphrey be the nickel. I kind of like that, to be honest with you, because we can play man out of that with Humphrey in the slot, and then Stevens and Peters play man on their guys. I understand that there's a matchup issue there. I'm not talking about the effectiveness of Stevens. I'm saying when Humphrey is in the slot, we kind of can be versatile because then we can play zone. Clark is not as good in zone as that nickel defender. He doesn't impact things the way Humphrey does. Humphrey has elite awareness, elite recognition, and a little bit more burst than Clark. If we were gonna put Humphrey in the slot, I kind of feel like we need to put Clark at inside backer. So probably replace Bynes, and that's a difficult thing for me to say because of how much I respect and root for Josh Bynes to continue to succeed like he did last week. Yeah, that presents some problems in terms of the man coverage with Stevens, especially if he's matched up with like Stephon Diggs or something like that. But that alignment, that grouping, defensively gives us a little bit more versatility and causes Josh Allen to have to think, what is the coverage? I'm talking about Humphrey in the slot to one side, Clark at inside backer, presumably Queen will be the other inside backer, and then Williams and Hamilton at the safety, Stevens and Peters as your outside corners. Of course, we wish we had Kyle Fuller. We wish JAD was playing a little more effectively than he is so far. But look, it's a difficult game for rookie corners to adjust to. That'll be part of what I'm going to try to address in the video Friday night, indicating, hey, look, rookies are struggling across the board in coverage, rookie corners. I'm not really going to talk about safeties like Jaquan Brisker and Dax Hill and even Hamilton. Talk about him a little bit since he's on our team. But if you guys are interested in that video, let me know. I'll be recording that here in about another half an hour, trying to push that content out tonight so people can watch it. This video is designed to give you a little bit of pre-snap indication as to what the coverage might be, depending on where the Ravens line up, one or two of our three safety look. Appreciate you guys checking this video out. Let me know what you think of the information I'm trying to convey to you, the pre-snap indicators I'm trying to give you in terms of what coverage it might be, and then, the effectiveness of the group that I described with Humphrey at nickel corner and Stevens on the outside, which we know there's some athletic limitations to Stevens versus certain types of receivers in the NFL. That was kind of shown last week against Parker. Appreciate you guys' time. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and maybe sharing this on social media to help this video gain more outreach and exposure.